Welcome to the Noah Burra Advice YouTube channel. If you want to get on a call with me and be featured on this channel or in private, the link is in the description. Thank you. What's going on, guys? Noah Burra here, and today we're going to be doing a little bit different of a advice video because I actually know this guy. I've known him for 7 years, 6 years, and not from school, not from anything like that, but I actually know him from Facebook, like back when I used to message people randomly on Facebook and just make connections. And probably like a year and a half ago, we reconnected through Tanner Plains Digital Dropshipping Mastermind. And I was like, yo, like I know you from a long time ago. And then you ended up coming to one of our events or two of our events. I don't remember. But yeah, we just reconnected. We stayed in touch ever since. He's actually helping us write Brand Breakdown newsletters, which has been a good project for a long time. But today, we're going to talk about the hustle, figuring out, how to make this work, how to go from nothing to something. Michael's somebody who's been, hustling for a very long time, and I've seen him, have his ups and downs. Like he's made a ton of money with, I believe, like Walmart or Amazon. I mean, I can let him get into it, but he's made a ton of money. He's had upsides, downsides, and in-betweens, and like he's been through a lot as an entrepreneur. So I'm very, very happy to have him on today. And we are going to be discussing, like I said, the hustle, the grind, what are your goals right now? What are you working on? What are you fucking up on? All those things. We don't have a plan for this call, but we're just going to shoot it. And if I feel like I can help and give some advice, I will. You guys know the drill. I won't speak out of line, but obviously we have Michael here and he's ready to open up to us. So, dude, how have you been, bro?
Man, I've been good. For the most part, man. I've had some up and downs recently, but for the most part, I've been good.
Sweet. And I know the first thing we talked for a little bit before we got on the Zoom here. First thing I said was like, dude, we need to talk about 75 hard. Because I started it 25 days ago. So I'm a third of the way done now. If you don't know what
Yeah,
75 hard is, just Google it. And I believe that around the time that I was starting, I think you were also starting it as well.
yeah.
What happened, bro?
Dude, I let that can I cuss on here, by the way?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I let the bitch voice get too loud, and I gave in, man. I was on day 4 or 5, and I didn't want to do the workouts, and I wanted to eat like shit, so I ate like shit, and I didn't do the workouts, and I didn't pick it back up. That's yeah,
Okay. Well, I
yeah.
know, is this your second time doing 75 hard or your third?
This would be my third try.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
same, this is my third time. My first one crushed it. Second one crushed it. Actually, no, second one I failed 14 days in. I forgot to read and then finished it completely. So I did a total of like 90 days, I think it was 75 plus
damn.
14 days. And then my third time, I did it for 28 days and then I completely stopped. So I did it for 28 days and I didn't fail or anything like that. I think I was traveling or something. I just didn't want to complete it at that time. And also a friend of mine was doing it and I was kind of doing it with them. And then, but my own things came up. But now this is my third time actually going through and completing it. Like I said, I'm on day 25. If I failed tomorrow, I would restart and go another 75 days. So tell me why you didn't restart after you failed.
Honestly, uh, I'm going to be vulnerable on this call. At the end of the day, I just feel like I've been letting my mental health be bad, and letting my little bitch voice run rampant. And I've had a negative tendency recently. So there's no real reason, no good one at least. And I didn't pick it back up. I decided it was something that I don't know.
Like you don't have any plans to like travel or special holidays. Like there's no holidays coming up right now. Like you just have no reason, but you just chose not to do it.
Yeah,
It's
which
rough,
is
bro.
unfortunate. Yeah,
But one of the things that I love about 75 hard is, and we use the word fail, like you're not failing anything. You're just kind of like, you're going in and out of these phases of like your normal day to day and then into like this very intense to-do list, you know, very driven mentality. To do 75 hard is very difficult. You got to drink the water, 2 workouts a day, you got to read, you got to take a progress picture. Like it's a lot of shit to keep track of. And then to do that, and then to also do, business, keep a good relationship, hang out with your friends, talk to your family. Like, dude, it gets very overwhelming. And like every time I've ever done it though, it's always created the best version of myself. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I've tried it 2 times this year so far, failed both times, but yeah, yeah, I do agree with that one.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah, it
I
puts you in perfect mindset.
last time I completed 75 hard, dude, not only was I in great shape physically, I was in great shape mentally, and my business was growing. This was the first time that I completed 75 hard while maintaining my focus and my energy in my business. Because the first time I did 75 hard, I basically took all my focus and all my energy into that one thing, which actually took away from my business, and it wasn't the best thing for me, I believe, because it just was a very big distraction. But last time I overcame that, right? Like I very easily could have sat there and been like, oh shit, like doing 75 hard really affected my business and it affected my focus and it affected my energy levels. So I'm never going to do that again, right? I could have easily
Yeah,
pointed fingers at 75 hard and used it as a reason to, never do it again and blame like, oh, I can't do 75 hard because I need to stay focused on my business. I could have done that, but I chose not to. I chose the path of, okay, this time we're going to do 75 hard and we're going to stay focused. Okay. We're not going to be defeated by 75 hard, right? Because anybody can do 75 hard. If you're just disciplined for 2.5 months, it's done. It's not that hard. But also to be able to do all the things that I talked about, like eat well, follow all the rules, but also focus on your business, see, financial growth, personal growth, growth inside of your mind, um, you know, actually enjoying your life during the process. Like these are all parts of it that I think a lot of people don't talk about, and parts that you should aspire to achieve through doing 75 hard. Like the point to me is not just to like lose weight or look better at the end of it or feel mentally tougher or anything like that. To me, every time I've done it, I've learned something incredibly key to my success, and I feel like I become a better person every time. Like the first time I did it, I learned how to, stay disciplined to a very specific set of tasks for a long time. That's probably the one thing that I learned. Whether it was the right tasks or not is up for debate, right? Because I talked about it distracted me from my business and shit like that. And the second time I learned that, you can put a massive amount of focus on multiple things at once, like your health, your wealth, your happiness, your relationships, your family. Like I mastered all of that the last time I did 75 hard. And this 75 hard, my goal is to not master everything and not go extreme at everything, but I just want to have like a nice balanced 2.5 months where I'm focused on my business, focused on my health, focused on my mental health, and focused on my relationships, where I'm not like pushing to the max. Like when I'm at the gym, I'm not fucking like, out of breath after every set. I'm going real light. I'm doing, weighted vest walks. And, for my business, I'm not working like a madman. I'm like, a few hours a day, really, really effective work. And then that's pretty much what I'm doing. And the results so far have been really, really great. My company grew last month for the first time for like 3 or 4 months, which is amazing. And we're still growing this month on top of that. Here's the thing. I know you before, so this is very unique because most of the time I would ask you a bunch of questions, but I feel like I can just preach, bro, because I've already known you. We've talked about this so
yeah,
many times. Like, not gonna lie, when you call me and say that you weren't doing 75 hard again, kind
yeah.
of it just tells me that you're not somebody who's taking yourself seriously in the progression of life. You're not allowing yourself to be uncomfortable for growth. And this is gonna affect you. And this is like the most painful part to me because I don't care what you look like. I don't care what your mental health is like. I don't care if you're fat or skinny or what you're eating or whatever that. What matters to me is I want Michael to win. Like whatever that means for Michael. If that means that you want to lose weight, then I'm like, okay, I want Michael to lose weight. If that means that you want to get rich, then it's like, okay, I'm going to help you get rich. And that tells me that it's like you don't want that for you as much as I want that for you, if that makes sense.
No, it does, man. Man, that hit.
And it seems like I know how badly you want to, make a ton of money and have a successful business and stuff like this. But you got to understand, like, at some point in your career, if you're going years and years, which you have gone years and years, and granted, you've had success and you've made a bunch of money for periods of times and stuff like that, you have to obviously be uncomfortable at certain points, but like you have to seek personal development and personal growth, and you have to challenge yourself. Maybe it's because I'm doing 75 hard right now and I'm in my zone and I'm in my groove that I'm biased and I'm like, I feel like 75 hard is the answer to everything, which I know it's not, but
It's a great place to start.
dude, the part of your mind that's telling you like, oh, I want to eat these foods and oh, I don't want to do the workouts, like you have to understand that that part of your mind is the reason that you're unable to achieve success everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's not just with 75 hard. It's not, just like, oh, I don't want to do the workout, so I can't do 75 hard. It's like, no, you're choosing to do something more comfortable to avoid something that's more uncomfortable, which in essence is going to make you uncomfortable in the future. Like you're familiar with this concept. I don't need to preach about it and remind you about it. But dude, if the goal of this call is like, okay, we're going to sit down and we're going to determine, the next 5 things that you need to do to get you to the next level in life, whether it's financially, health wise, or fuck it, all of it, right? Like let's level up the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Quarter four is coming. Like things are about to start moving in the internet game, and it. Like the time's rolling up.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
dude, the number one thing that I would tell you is probably to get your ass back on 75 hard like tomorrow. And
Okay, man.
do not only do 75 hard. Because like I said, you've already done it before. You've already learned how to take a list of tasks and do them consistently for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh, by
only
the way, I didn't mean to cut you off there, man. I did want to say something. I didn't do 275 hards. I did the Live Hard program,
Oh,
but
okay.
I didn't complete that all the way through. I just did the first 30 days.
Got it.
But
So
I figured I'd say that.
yeah, last time you did 75 hard, you learned how to just do a list of tasks, which, dude, I bet you were a completely different person before you did 75 hard than you are now.
Yeah. Yeah. Way different.
And
It's weird too.
that's just one step in the right direction.
Yeah, it makes you realize that literally all life is a series of good decisions that get you to where you're trying to go. That's it. You got to make the right decisions consistently. That's all it is.
Bro, to be honest, it's not in your control as much as you think it is what the right decisions and the bad decisions are.
Yeah.
But you do have to make decisions. Like
Yeah.
you have to do things, you have to make hard decisions, easy decisions, and you're not going to know if they're right or wrong. But like to me, what's the pros and the cons of the decision? And if it works out in your favor both ways, then fucking send it. And that's what I do. I try to do that every single day. Like I try to weigh my pros and cons of testing different things and doing different things, and that's how I roll. And obviously starting 75 hard, sometimes the cons of it outweigh the pros, and I choose like not to do it at that point for whatever reason. But sometimes like this time around, it worked in my favor, and I'm gonna make it work in my favor. So, what I would say is start 75 hard tomorrow, but don't only do the list of tasks that are there. We were just talking about this briefly before our call, but I think that you have to level up. Like you have to do 75 hard plus something. There's got to be something else. Like for me, the second time I did 75 hard, it was 75 hard plus I'm going to stay focused on my business and try to have growth every single month during 75 hard. That was like last 75 hard, that was my goal, and I achieved that. And this 75 hard, like I said, I have that goal, but it's a new goal now. So now I'm doing all my 75 hard tasks. Now I'm also seeing growth in my business. And on top of that, I also want balance. Like I don't want to be ripping my fucking eyes out every day like I was last time. Because now I kind of see what it takes and I know the kind of disciplines it takes, and I'm kind of adjusting and optimizing. And so far I'm completing all my tasks. It's been 25 days. I'm completing all my tasks. my company is growing every single week and I'm not ripping my eyeballs out. Like I'm working, like I said, like 4 or 5 hours a day, just trying to get very effective tasks done. And that's my goal this time. So this time for 75 hard, when you do it, what is the thing that you should do that is going to be like the +1 that is going to get you to the next level? Because the last time you did 75 hard, it was like one step. This time, I want you to take another step forward. I don't want you to just repeat the same shit you already did. Two and a
I
half
can do
months.
that. Yeah. 2.5 months is a lot of time to change your life. So
What was the thing about 2 months?
plenty of time.
What was the thing about 2 months, 2.5 months that you talked about before we got on this Zoom call?
Oh, yeah. I think it was the whole I've been delivering packages for Amazon for the last 2 months, I think is what I was saying.
Mm-mm.
Been just trying to build up money.
No, you asked me what I was working on.
Yeah. Ah, that. Yeah. You know, the difference between me and Noah is that when I asked you what you've been working on, you told me viral e-com ads. And when I asked you 2 months ago what you were working on, it's amazing. It was viral e-com ads. So
And what about a year
uh,
ago? What about a year ago? What was I working on?
yeah, definitely viral e-com ads. A year ago from today, I think that was right after that Florida event, and
Yep.
you were definitely working on viral
I
e-com
was
at that
working.
point, man. So it shows, these people like you, people like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, other big names. They're ultra successful because they focus on one thing or just a handful of things, and they put the inputs in. They don't worry about the outcomes. They can't control that, so they put it in. They just keep focusing on one single thing for a prolonged amount of time. They're not superheroes. They're not geniuses. They're just regular people who built something really fucking awesome. And it just shows. I mean, you just got to show up every single day, even days you don't want to, because I'm sure in the last 2 months you haven't wanted to show up at least a few times. Am I right?
Yeah, right now is actually one of those moments, bro. Like this
Yeah,
week, I had to get a No Bro Advice video out, and I waited last minute to fucking film it and do it. And
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like if I could choose right now, I'd be having a cigar on my back porch in the pool right now.
damn,
But I'm here doing this call because I have this YouTube channel. I told myself that I would stick it out and be very consistent with it. So I'm doing what needs to get done. And I love talking to you. Like I love doing this. Of course I do.
yeah.
But it's like you
Same
said,
here,
like,
man.
anybody can have a good time at the gym. It doesn't mean you want to go, right? Um,
Yeah,
but dude, that's been like one of the biggest probably weaknesses or oversights that I've seen on your journey is the fact that you haven't really picked like one thing and just committed to doing it for an extended period of time. And
yeah,
I really, really feel like it's getting annoying at this point because I feel like I've told you like 100 times. But
yeah,
this, in my opinion, like, dude, if you can get over the shiny ball syndrome and just commit to one thing, I think that that's what's going to take you to the next level and actually allow you to start building something that's going to start providing you with money and cash flow, so that you can like basically progress on your business journey. And jumping from one thing to another is not like, dude, that's like very elementary. You're only supposed to do that in business for like your first couple of years. And some people do it longer, some people do it, shorter. For me, it was about 2 years, 3 years where I was just jumping from one thing to another.
yeah.
Until my mentor, bro. I got my mentor, Mark, I'll never forget it. And he just told me, like, dude, if you want me to mentor you, I don't want you to do anything else except for what I'm mentoring you on, and you're going to do it for at least a year.
Wow.
And that thing was e-commerce. And what's the thing that's made me all my money? E-commerce. It was the first thing that worked out for me. So,
Yeah,
judging by my opinion, I think 75 hard is going to force you into an uncomfortable state. Like it's going to force you into this, like, okay, just commit for the next 2.5 months. Your life is going to probably not be so fun. It's probably going to be boring. You're going to be doing your workouts. You're going to be doing a lot of shit that you don't want to do. Okay. So you're
yeah,
already like shocking your body. You're shocking your mind. you're making yourself question like, oh fuck, shit's new now. I gotta buy new foods and eat differently and fucking go to the gym and read and good. On top of
Yeah,
that, I want you to pick one thing for the entirety of 75 hard, and I don't want you to think about anything else other than that one thing.
that's pretty tough. Yeah.
And what I would say that that thing should be, I know that you said that you wanted it to be brand breakdowns, but at this time, I personally don't think that that's very smart because that's my newsletter, and we are talking about Michael.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, like we want Michael to be successful. And while I would love to help with brand breakdowns, and I think that it has great potential, I think that that's something that's going to take years to build. And it's also an extension of my company. So we can continue doing our thing with brand breakdowns during this 2.5 months, because
Yeah.
you are basically just being a writer and you are going to have to make money somehow. But I want you
Yeah.
to I want you to pick something that's 100% Michael, and that's all you're going to do for Michael. Okay. You might work for me. You might work for, Amazon or whatever you were doing on the side to bring in income. That's fine. You can do all that shit because you got to pay your bills.
Yeah.
But in terms of business, your own ambitions of getting rich, you have to fulfill on this thing. And in my opinion, there's only one thing I do when I have to grow my companies. The only thing I do is do 1 to 3 things every single day that move it forward. Okay. If I have a slow day, I do one thing, right? If I'm going out and I'm just having a busy day or I'm running errands, I'll do at least one thing every single day. If I'm having a work day, I'll do like five. So this is why I say like 1 to 3. Okay. And literally any time I've ever grown my businesses from the first business I started to now, it was when I was pushing the needle forward 1 to 3 times a day with one task. So I bet if you started 75 hard tomorrow, or yeah, I say tomorrow is best. It's like tomorrow is the worst word, but it's already too late. Like it's like 8 p.m. So
Yeah.
you probably already failed today.
Actually, except for the workout, and water, actually, I would have passed if I had done it. Yeah.
There you go. Well, tomorrow
Yeah.
day one, and it's also going to be day one of you hyper focusing on one business and doing 1 to 3 things every single day. Like you can't take a single day off. No
Yeah.
fuckery. It's just like 75 hard. If you miss a day and you don't move the needle forward in some way, you got to start over.
Yeah. And I've done that plenty of times.
And I'll tell
You
you
know,
this. And I'll tell
wow.
you this. Are you gonna follow my advice and do 75 hard this time? Think real quick if you have anything coming up in the next 2.5 months that would fuck you over.
I do, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to let it fuck me over. Here's the reality. Last time I did 75 hard, I didn't drink at my brother's wedding, so I could complete 75 hard. I put in that dedication. I sacrificed stuff so I could focus on doing something that was uncomfortable, and I was so thankful that I did it. So honestly, I don't know if there's anything coming up, but I don't really care if there is. I'm tired of this shit loop I've been in this year, dude. I burnt through all of my fucking savings, trying to find a winner, and uh, and then since then I've been bouncing around nonstop, dude. Every single month I've tried something different, and I can't do that.
Hmm.
You know, one month I did CS50, went through a Harvard class in one fucking month just because I was bored. Another month I did TikTok shops for a little bit. Uh, Last month I screwed around with eBay, and it's good. I've made money with all of them, but I don't stick with any of them. That's the problem.
Dude, that's
Um,
that's your level up, right? Because my level up was like, okay, this time I do 75 hard, I want to grow my business while doing 75 hard. That to me was like, oh shit, because last time I did 75 hard, my business fucking tanked. Like it took everything out of me. So I'm like,
well,
okay,
okay, yeah,
so like that was my level up. I think this is your level up. Like this is your time to not only complete 75 hard, but also teach yourself to stick to one thing for an extended period of time. And
Yeah.
again, whatever this one thing is, I want you to look at it not like you're going to do it 1 to 3 tasks every day for 75 days. We're just attaching it to 75 hard because it's already a drastic change in your life.
Yeah.
But this is something that you're going to do forever. Like you have to pick one thing and you're going to do it until you're making how much? You tell me.
$1 million a year.
Okay, 80 grand a month. It's ambitious, but let's run it.
I've done that in a month.
Dude,
I've done it in a day.
dude,
Shit, man.
before I had my first 80K month, I think it was I started e-commerce in September of 2017 and I made 85 grand. My first 85 grand month profit was June, I think it was June of 2020. So about what is that, like 3 years later, 2.5, 3 years later?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in for a long haul. So if you want to
Yeah.
you want to take a couple days and think about it and try to map out the smartest business for you to choose. But if you ask me, it doesn't matter. Like any business can work if you put in the right amount of work and the right amount of commitment. But I think that you need to make the decision like today, like, dude, I'm going to stop playing this fucking hamster wheel and I'm just going to pick something and figure it out. And if it takes you a year, it takes you a year. And if it takes you 3 years, it takes you 3 years. Okay? Because the reality is you've been going for years already. So if you had just done this from the beginning, you'd probably be doing pretty well right now.
Man.
And that's
Honestly, damn, bro. I realized that. So all that stuff you just told me too, right? Commit to one thing, 1 to 3 things a day. You know, the only business I can think that I really did that for, was a business I had for 18 months, selling on Facebook Marketplace, right? They had this shipping function on it and it got pretty big pretty fast. Um, and really the only way that I was able to make money with it is I just listed 10 products every single day. That's all I did. I wasn't crazy about it. Some days I would list 50. Some days I'd only list 10, but every single day I would list 10 products. I would fulfill all of my orders. I'd send a message to every single one of my customers, and I did that every single freaking day. I went on vacations and did it. I hung out with my friends and did it. I didn't miss a day. I showed up every fucking day.
That's
And
usually when you do that, you get some results.
yeah. Yeah. I think it took like a month and a half before I was like comfortable with doing it daily. I guess not really comfortable because not every day is comfortable, right? And the same thing with 75 hard. Some days it's real easy to do because you're just in that right mindset. Everything just perfectly lines up. You wake up at the right time. You do all your work in the morning. You do your first 45, work some in the afternoon, do some more tasks, and it's great. It just perfectly flows out perfectly. Then you got those days where it's raining all fucking day or it's snowing and you don't want to have to fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the days most people quit, or your friends are like, hey, I want to hang out. Or you got some birthday stuff that you've been invited to and you want to do that instead of doing this task. And that's the same thing with business too. So, man, it's interesting because I've been giving myself permission to let the bitch in me uh run my life. I do everything I want to do. But sometimes I can't do that. I have to be able to hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I need to focus on one thing.
Well, I wanna make this more exciting for you. And I also want it to be, a standing point for our relationship.
But
So what I want to do, and I want you to keep this in mind, like keep this internal. Like I don't want to track your progress or do anything like that. But instead of the punishment for failing 75 hard, uh, you have to restart, right? Big deal. It's not a big deal.
yeah.
You didn't even restart, right? So it's not like you have to, you choose to.
Yeah.
What I want to say is I want you to do 75 hard all the way through. If you fail 50 days in, I want you to restart. So don't fail.
Yeah.
You're going to restart. And if you have to restart 50 days in, you're going to want to fucking shoot yourself. Like, it's horrible. Dude,
Oh yeah, I almost did last time.
dude, 14 days in,
It
14
was
days
so
in,
close.
I had to restart 14 days in, bro. I hated myself
Yeah,
for the entire 14 days. But I want you to have that in your mind, but also not only are you going to do 75 hard, you're going to stick to one thing from this point on. And during the 75 days, if you fail and you do not restart, meaning if you walk away from this and you're like, okay, I'm not going to do 75 hard, I'm not going to stick to one thing. Even if you want to pivot from one thing to another, I don't care. If you fail and you do not restart, I don't ever want to do another coaching call with you.
damn.
So let me add weight to it because this is what
Yeah,
my mentor did to me. And I like to say that he took a piece of shit and he beat him into a star because my mentor was not nice to me, bro. First thing he
yeah,
did when we got on the call, he's like, here's how things are going to go. And if you don't like it, then you're out, basically.
damn.
And he was where I wanted to be. So I submitted myself to him. I submitted myself to his advice. So, and also at the same time, from my perspective, like I said, I feel like I've been preaching to the choir. I've said this to you multiple times. I'm done wasting my time on it. So
Yeah,
the next time we do a coaching call, I want it to be at the end of the 75 days, like the day after you complete it, and you have stuck with one thing for the entire time. And that's going to be our next coaching call. So if you never complete it, we're never going to do another call again.
yeah.
Um, outside of
Damn.
obviously outside of brand breakdowns.
Mm.
Okay.
No, okay, yeah, yeah. Honestly, and I want to do that call in 76 days, I guess it would be. Or 77, yeah, because yeah, well, yeah, I definitely want to do this again.
Yeah.
I want to be in a completely different place with completely different problems, and I don't want those problems to be, oh, gee, man, I don't know where I'm going with life, and I'm so confused and lost. Well, that's great. I'm 23 years old. So is every other motherfucking 23-year-old. They're all lost. The only thing you can do, focus on doing something.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to do. I want to build something. I don't know what I want to build yet. Um, but I'm going to make that decision and pull the trigger. I really do feel like digital assets make the most amount of sense. Um,
Put some thought into it today.
yeah,
Start 75 hard tomorrow, regardless, but put some thought
yeah,
into what you're going to pick to stick with and don't let it take longer than a few days. Because like I said, it's not as important what it is. It's better, if you choose something that's close to home, something you had a little bit of experience with, I would say. But other than that, it doesn't really matter. But dude, I would
well,
like
if
to,
I did that, it'd be a marketplace, probably.
all right. I would like to continue helping you on your journey and help you get to where you want to be. But next time I give you advice, I want it to be different advice. I want you to be in a different scenario with new problems, better problems, higher level problems. So I can
A
actually
level 2 problem, not a level 0.
right. So I can actually work
Yeah,
my magic on you, and I'm not just sitting here talking about motivation and getting shit done. Um,
yeah.
showing up every day. So I think that should wrap up this call. I think you have a very good, list of actions now on, in my opinion, what you can do to get to the next level in a pretty easy way, right? Like you just have to commit to doing 75 hard, and then you're also going to commit to doing one thing, which honestly, you should be doing anyways. So you're really just doing two things that you've already committed to, and you should be doing anyways. Except this
Yeah.
point, except this time, I'm calling you out on your bullshit, and I'm putting our relationship on the line
Fuck yeah.
because I don't want to waste my time and I want Michael to win. And I have a feeling that with that kind of pressure, it's actually going to push you to make the right decision. So,
Yeah. I mean, when you said that, I got this gut feeling. I was like, oh shit, that would really fucking suck. So,
it's real now
yeah,
because the truth is,
yeah,
you
There's
know,
real consequences now. Yeah.
if I go to somebody like Alex Hormozy, somebody who's, miles ahead of where I'm at, and he gives me advice, and then a year later I go to him with the same problem and he gives me the same advice, and then it keeps on repeating, eventually he's going to stop answering the phone.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And this is what's going on. You want me to be real with you? That's what's going on. And I want it to stop because, like I said, I want Michael to win, and this is holding you back. So let's, you feel really motivated and shit right now, but let's turn on the discipline, start taking
Yeah.
success.
I feel a bit of fear, actually, to be honest.
Good. Just
Yeah,
like you felt fear the last time you did 75 hard.
yeah, I was terrified. I'm sure you remember me telling you that.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I was 283 pounds, and dude, I was eating like shit every single day, drinking these freaking sugary coffees, and waking up at 2 or 3 p.m., going to sleep at 5 a.m. most days, just living like shit because I gave myself permission to. I had enough money. I could just fucking, and I live in Omaha, so I had enough money to just fuck off for almost a year. I didn't care. I lived like garbage. I got fat, and well, you looked at me and you're like, nah, bro, get the fuck off your ass. Start working. Start putting in the work. I did 75 hard, made a shit ton of money with it, and then I pissed all that money away again. And it just, I can't keep doing this, man.
Dude,
I can't keep getting above the poverty line or above the fucking survival line and saying, okay, I'm happy now, and then just start going back down. I can't keep doing that. No, because I'm never going to be a billionaire if I want to be one. Living a life like this, it's not going to get me anywhere.
You got to stay consistent and persistent. And like I said, you feel motivated right now, but discipline is what gets you through.
Yeah.
You know this more than anything. And the reason you're able to do 75 hard now and just quit and just not continue. And I mean this because
holding my hand.
I've felt it myself with 75 hard. Now that I've already done it and I've already conquered it, I'm no longer intimidated by it. I no longer feel like I have to prove myself by completing it. So I'm less inclined to actually go and finish it. That's why I started adding new challenges on top of it. Like I have to grow my business, and this time, I have to grow my business and I have to do it, while enjoying life and not, peeling my eyes backwards. Like doing something that's actually sustainable is basically the term of this time I'm doing 75 hard. And that's the reason that you keep doing it and fucking failing, because you've already conquered it. You don't need to prove to yourself anymore. So here's the new challenge. Now go fucking do it and prove to yourself that you can.
That's honestly what I want to do, man. I want to get a fucking win this year. I've been letting my, honestly, I was gonna say, I've been doing nothing but fail this year. But the difference is that I've been letting myself fail this whole year. I'm not tackling things consistently. And when things work, I get in this mindset of, oh, but it's not scalable, so I probably won't do it anymore. Well, who the fuck gives a fuck if it's not scalable? Just do the unscalable for right now and figure it out later. Yeah. Okay. So.
All right, bet I got to wrap up this call because I still got to do my outdoor workout, and
Cool,
work for my own shit. But I think that was a really productive call. I'm very, very excited for our follow-up, hopefully in 76 days. If you fail, then longer.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm very excited. I think that this is going to bring you to the next level, and choosing one thing and becoming married to one thing is going to really unlock a part of you that you've never seen before. So I'm very, very excited, and I'm excited to hear at the end of the 2.5 months. I can almost guarantee, and I want you to have strong faith that whatever you do might be going very well at the end of those 2.5 months. I mean, you're a smart guy. You just got to do the work, right? So
okay.
Let's get into it. Have the discipline to follow it through, and we'll update everybody here on the channel once you're complete on how it's going. And whether it's going good or not, you're going to be a better person up here physically, productivity wise. You're just going to be a better person overall. So it'll be good to meet that version of you. And yeah, let's wrap this one up.
All right, man.
All right, bro. Thank you for hopping on.
Yeah, cool, man. Thank you.